Namaste, namaste everyone. And today I'm not on my yoga mat anymore because I want to share with you how yoga changed not only my life but also different people's lives. And I want to inspiring you to not be afraid from changes and understand maybe more deeper what is meaning of yoga and how beautiful it's changed our lives. And today Akash will share his own story. Thank you first of all that you are here with me and you are open to share your story.
Thank you for taking this time to just be in this zone and just ask.
Great.
And share. I'm glad we are here.
We are in India right now.
Yes, in the beautiful mountains.
In Himalaya, in beautiful area. And tell me how your journey starts. Is it real true that yoga changed your life? And maybe you can share how yoga changed your life.
Absolutely. I think there are enough evidence about yoga, but still the path is so demanding that you need constant proofs for this. And hence for this I would love to share a story that how much change yoga can bring. So I would like to share how I was before. I mean, if I remember before yoga, I was like every other like middle class family. The desires are getting rich, getting money, travel the world, do all these things, and I'm chasing them. And if I tell about my behaviors were waking up when the job asked me to wake up and eating like whenever I get time, smoking in breaks. In the corporate world, that was my life. And talking bad about my managers.
So common.
Yeah. Always complaining, never enjoying. It's like, I don't know what's missing, but I knew something was missing. And can you imagine, like I've worked for 10 years in corporates and I have not taken even one single experience letter. Because inside of me, I knew like I am doing this job just to pay my bills. This cannot be my future. I mean, I had this intuition in me that this is not my future. I don't need these documents. I will never create a life around this job. Hence, I would just leave the jobs. In 10 years, I have switched like 15 jobs. So I was not in any job. I couldn't be there for more than a year. And I would just leave. The day I feel like it's enough for me, I would just call my manager and say, I'm not coming. I'm the worst employee a manager could have.
How old was you that time when you started to get these feelings?
I think I started working at the age of 17, but when I came back to India at the age of 20 from London, so I was in London at the age of 17, studying and working. Then I came back to India at 20, and then I got into this full-fledged life of working and paying my student loan, which I took. And that's when life got out of my hand. Now I was not running my life at all. And that feeling was very like disappointing. Every day I would wake up and feel, why am I doing this? And the money that I would get, I would pay the bills, and then I would try to find some happiness with that money. And there are only limited options with money. Either I can buy toxic things, or like pleasures, just I can just buy some pleasures, and that is what I was doing. So yeah, life before was smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol on weekends, and being an athlete. I was still an athlete.
So you was in some kind of
sports as well, but sports went out of the window when life hits, like when you have to start paying for all the things that you now use. When your parents pull the plug, like now you're on your own. So yeah, that was life, and very hard. It was not connected at all. Constantly giving reasons that why my job is so good, why I love my job, it will give me this, and I can get promoted. I would tell all these lies, which I don't know, it was just coming from a hurt place and not from a place of life. So that was the life before yoga. And I don't know, as we go, you may find out like how life has been changed.
So how you find the yoga, or yoga finds you, and what you was like? Okay, tell me how you find the yoga, or
Very interesting story, like how it's like maybe yoga found me, or it was something. It sprouts from the childhood, bhakti yoga. I would say that I was a kid, like 5 or 7 year old, and I used to go out with my friends, and we had this habit of, so there are kids who are playing, and then there is me, and there was one guy who was, I think, gay by nature or something in her body, and everyone used to like, how do you call this, bully him. So I found that he has no friends, so I just chose to become like his friend. And then we started building these small temples. So we would go and sit, and we put a deity, and we would just do kirtan at the age of 7 without knowing anything. That is what we were doing. But that got lost when I went into sports and everything as I grew up. So it was lost for many years. And now, when the life happens, everything happened. I was in this relationship, and I don't know if I can share. I'm open about it. Is like I got married to the girl that I thought I loved since school. So I got married at the age of 21. But then after 4 years, it didn't work out. So at the age of 25, we got separated, and it was fine for me, but that's when like I was at the bottom of my life. It was, I had no love in my life, no career, no job, nothing. I'm smoking, drinking. Like it's the peak of my depression, and everything was just not working out. And that's when it was like I was listening to Joe Dispenza, neuroscientist, Sadhguru, all the people to find answer, like why am I hurting so much? So it started with the pain, like that hurt pain was so much that I was not able to breathe. So first I started with breathing, like I want to breathe, I don't feel like I cannot breathe. And then it started with why is it happening with me? And I went into neuroscience. And then I started doing some yoga from YouTube video, and it was 1 hour 20-minute session. I would do it every day, the same Hatha yoga, and without even me realizing, when I see like after 3 to 5 months, I was just feeling this improvement. I was starting to take control over small things, what time I wake up, when I take bath, what do I eat. Okay, I can stop little bit smoking, I can try to quit it, try to like just come back in myself. And I tried gym, I tried all the other things. They would just make me feel a little bit better for some time. But yoga was like working unconsciously. Like I could not give it the name of the process, like you do 20 push-ups, your chest will come up, you do this, your bicep, nothing like this in yoga. Because it's working on something. So that's how I found yoga in the rock bottom of my life. And it was through YouTube. And yeah, that's how I discovered yoga.
so you start feeling physically and emotionally that you can't breathe.
Yes.
And you
yes.
start with the breathing practice, or it
Yes,
was the first was pranayam breathing practice, or
It's like, because I feel the lifestyle, even in India now, there are only few places that the culture is still intact, but mostly in the cities, we follow the Western life now. So I never had any influence of my own culture. It's so much been like, it's going away that I had no influence of my own culture. I was looking at the Western people and what they are saying, what they're doing. So I started with Wim Hof breathing. To gain control, and it was nothing but what we call in yoga the pranayam, when we start like inhalation, which is your puraka, exhalation rechaka, and then kumbhaka, internal hold and outer hold, bahir kumbhaka. And that is all the process of Wim Hof breathing is. You inhale, you hold out and you hold in, and just in 11 to 15 minutes you could reach to that peaceful state. So in that moment that helped, and I did that for 1 year.
1 year,
Yes.
constantly.
Every day, 4 a.m., ice cold bath, and then breathing. So I followed that. But that was coming from ego. That was still not yoga. I was not at all close to yoga. I was just looking a solution for my problem. I was not even inclined towards yoga. I had no intention to go deep into spirituality or anything. So these things were just happening to me.
And it was working.
It was working, yes, yeah, definitely.
So how fast you start feeling like, okay, you decide it's too enough. It's like, I want to change something. You start breathing and YouTube videos and start practicing. And I think for me, it's like it was somehow just happens. You are different.
Yes.
So when you understand, like, I'm different now.
I feel the different part, I'll tell you something very crazy, okay? So in that moment, like not even about different, I was not even liking myself. So unconsciously, I was not accepting that right now I do not like myself like this. And unconsciously, I created something. I created an image of me. When I first came to Rishikesh, like after lockdown, after doing some breathing, yoga at home, when I come to Rishikesh, I was so even embarrassed to, like inside, to even say my name to anyone. Like, who am I? Talk about my past, nothing. So I called myself, ego out of ego, whatever, Stupid Yogi. I had an Instagram by the name of Stupid Yogi, the same one that I have. Everywhere I would introduce myself as Stupid Yogi, and I would tell people to call me stupid, and I'm okay with it. So, and I see multiple different reactions. So instead of calling me stupid, they just called me Yogi. So they would not say stupid. I said, you can call me. I named myself this, and this is my first name. For 6 months, I was going by this name, and what it did was it breaked who I am. It like opened, so I could do everything I want to do and still not be attached to who I am. So more than yoga on the mat, it was like happening outside in the world. And it was yama niyamas, like it was saying the truth. Whatever is the truth, just say it. Be content, be happy with what you have. All these things, all like waking up on time, creating my own routine and everything. So yama niyama was the first thing that started bringing the huge change. Asanas can take years, but yama niyamas, they can bring instant change in your behavior, in who you are. And that's what I realized, that why are they put first? Why in Ashtanga Yoga they are put first? Why they have not put meditation, they have not put asanas, they have put yama niyamas, social codes and personal codes. Because you deal with yourself first and with the people around. So you can go do yoga 1 hour, 2 hours, but when you come back, you have your family to deal and you have yourself to deal. So if you're not doing yama niyama, all of the practice can take very long to bring some changes. So yama niyama was the first thing that started to show me positive change. And also when people start calling you're going mad, I knew that I'm changing for good now.
And that decision that you choose, choose that I'm stupid, it was also like protection of another people, that you are changing and they don't understood what's happening with you. And you actually, this is the way, and one part, what I felt, that I became alone. That family members, they don't understand me, and friends, it's changing, it's cleaning. And when there's one part when I was feeling completely lonely, and that was your protection to choose Stupid Yogi. That
was to protect the hurt child. The person who was hurt inside, it was to protect that. And definitely yes. And as I was healing, and with I remember, I don't know if I should mention, but yeah, because Bhavesh sir was my teacher in 200 hours and in 300 hours. So he was there. So his words have somehow impacted and give me direction, to be honest. So when I first took yoga philosophy class in my 200-hour training, he said something about karma, and he said, we are not meeting here by chance. Everything is happening for a reason. Everything is happening because of the past karma that we have done. And then he introduced me to the concept of surrender, and there is nothing in your hand that you're trying to control. And I was able to apply those two things. I realized that, okay, whatever I did, it's done, and I do not control anything now. And those two teachings, they allowed me to flow in Rishikesh. So I was not judging myself. If I'm smoking, I'm smoking. I'm not hiding from anyone in Rishikesh. Yes, I'm doing yoga teacher training course. Yes, I'm healing. I'm smoking. I'm drinking. Yes, I'm going out. I am looking for love out there, for a relationship. And that kind of not judging my own self, accepting who I am in that time, like it's speed up my healing process super fast. Then everything was going like super fast, and then in 300 the whole change happened. So in 300 training, the whole switch happened. But yeah, the name Stupid Yogi for very long was my protection, and it was now becoming the ego. That I didn't like when people started actually treating me like I'm a stupid guy or something. And I was like, yeah, then that identity itself started hurting me. And I got confused, like now I don't know what to do. Like I was going insane, to be honest, with my identity. It's like identity crisis. I don't know who I am, because who I used to be is so hurt that I cannot be that person anymore. But right now I don't know who I am. So that's where kind of yoga stepped in.
So between your 200 and 300 hour teacher training course, how long time it was?
6 months.
6 months.
And I'll tell you the funny thing is, that when I was doing yoga at my home from YouTube video, so in Shavasana, I learned this thing that, okay, I can manifest, I can imagine, I can create my future. So I was imagining this, like that's how I will be in Rishikesh. I will do 200 first, and I'll give 6 months time, and then I'll do 300, then I'll do this. But I forgot, like I imagined it once, and then I never went to that again. But later on I realized it exactly happened as I saw in just one of the Shavasana. And that's how it happened. Exactly after 6 months, I take admission, I leave my work from home job, everything. And that's when it was like universe is conspiring what you have already. It's like a whisper to the universe, this is what I want. And now it goes to work. And it happened, yeah. So it was 6 months that I took between 200 to 300.
And when you decide to quit your job, because it gives you, anyway, you quit, but you need to pay your bills. You
Yes.
have some responsibilities. So what was that point when you, yes, I'm ready to quit and I want to quit? And what was that, how you helped yourself? Because a lot of people have and questioning and they're looking for the answers, but they are not in that stage where they are still brave, or what you can give for your experience and how it was for you.
Absolutely. I think I totally understand. And I was in that fear for very long. That didn't allow me to do anything, because my family was like, kind of like I was giving some money to my family and earning and have fixed things that I have to do, all these things. And I was stuck in this for very, very long. But there was a point, like when I lost that relationship that I thought was the love of my life, I felt like I lost something which I thought to be the precious thing in my life. And after that, nothing seemed more worthwhile to me. Family, nothing, like a sense of vairagya, we call it, detachment. It automatically came, like, now I don't want anything from the world. So I was still doing the job because I had responsibilities towards family and some bills to pay, EMIs to pay and everything. But at this point, from 200 to 300, when I stayed in Rishikesh for 6 months, and I was surrounded with this spirituality and all the talks about like karma, past life, all these things, then it started to make sense, like all these things actually don't make sense. And I just tell my family that, you know what, you're going to have to manage. Like, I don't know how you're going to manage, but if I am not happy, if I'm not able to do all of these things happily for myself, I think I won't be able to do it for you for long. Like, I will give up. So just give me 2-3 years and don't ask me for money. Don't ask me for anything. And job was work from home. They were calling me back to office. I went for 2 days. I realized I don't want this. I came back to Rishikesh and I said, you know what, I don't want to do it. And I had nothing in my pocket. So before going into 300, I didn't even know how I'm going to pay my rent in Rishikesh. Only thing I had was credit card. And with that credit card, I paid for 300 and I'm done. Now I don't know what I will do after the course, how I will pay for my bills. But after finishing 300, it was like so much surrender. I had no idea. Every time I would go in classes, I don't know what I'm learning. I took 0 notes. It was not like I'm going to teach, I need notes, I need to make sequence, nothing. I was just going there. And for that whole month, for grounding and surrender, I did barefoot 24/7 barefoot for that 1 month, and it was the month of April itself, and that kind of made a huge shift. So it's, if you're finding reasons to quit your job, there is no reason. You have many reasons to not quit your job. To quit your job, there is only one reason, which is already inside you, that you don't like it. You don't want to do it. So just don't do it. And you will find something else. It will come. So yeah, but to survive, I did work in cafes for very minimal food and stay. I work in hostels. So for a few months before taking yoga teaching on, I worked wherever I could.
Yeah.
Whoever will give me food and stay, I will do anything.
And that makes you happy because you're already on the way which helps you to grow, like where you go the way.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
That was the surrender. That's where I learned surrender, what surrender means. We talk about surrender, but we don't know what surrender means. Like, can you go without eating for the whole day? Can you still be not angry, not annoyed, not frustrated? Can you just accept that it's okay that you don't have these things? Is it okay that you don't have expensive clothes? Like acceptance and surrenders go hand in hand. It was in King's Cafe in Rishikesh, it was written acceptance and surrender. And I would, before doing 300, between 200 to 300, I would come at King's Cafe smoking and looking at that every day. like, how do I do that? Like, how do I? So it was also subconscious mind training for those words and trying to find meaning. So if you don't know how to do acceptance and surrender, just write down somewhere and your mind will try to find what these two words means.
True.
And it will give you something out of it.
Right. So now you are you, right? And how you now feels? Do you have any, oh, maybe it was wrong decision, or what's in front of me now?
Now I feel like it's not even a decision. Like, it's not a choice. If you think it's a choice, then that's what keeping you away from yoga. Give up all your choices and yoga is happening. So now I feel I'm a choiceless person, desireless person. Not that I don't have desires or I'm free from it, but that's what I practice. To feel it's happening, life is happening, and I just have to respond to it. And that's it. There's nothing more, nothing less. And people will come, people will go, opportunities will come, they will go, money will come, everything will come and go, nothing stays. And if I realize this, then there is nothing else to even do. Like, just be ready and prepared that whatever comes, I am ready. And that's what the yogic practice is. So the yoga, for me, yoga happens. Yoga, I would say, it just happens. And you prepare all the other things are practices to prepare for the yoga to happen. So the practices are just to prepare the mind and the body, understanding.
Like learning alphabet, how to read.
Exactly. So it can just happen. We're stopping the happening.
Stopping the happening. What you can wish or give like gilding words for these people who are looking and they are in this position where you was many years ago and going every day to work and hating the work and judging the manager, and still they are using YouTube to do something, or even they don't know what is this. What you can, how to can motivate them?
I think so whether it's yoga, whether it's anything, if anyone wants to change the life that they don't like, they need to use the fire. And the fire is here, Agni, which is used to digest your food and everything. So I think lot of people say why, find your why, find your why, find your why do you want to do it? But I don't think it's the why. It's something more deeper. Like, a lot of people have whys, I want to do this, because of that. But why can push you for a bit, and then that why changes. Like, I started doing all of this because I was hurt, because somebody left me, I had breakup, or life put me down. And then I realized that that's not enough. So to keep that fire burning, it starts with, if you quickly go to this, like what keeps the fire burning in the belly, There are many breathing, many things. So I think breath is the most important thing that is easiest and closest to you. So if you can just pay attention to your breathing, you will reach to that fire, you will reach to that Agni, and then everything will happen. Just observing your breath.
And now I have one more question. Like
Yeah.
when you start,
Yeah.
right? Everything was new,
Yeah.
and maybe you're still going to your work, you're still doing your things, and to create this discipline, what you have right now, I think that time it was maybe more harder.
Yes.
So where you find this power, or we can say motivation,
Yeah.
to continue do, because you know you do, but the life gives you life, right? Situations.
That's
How
true.
you find this, that no, or you have like you start, then you finish, then you return back, and again, like how it was for you, and where did you get this, your inside Agni, to repeat this again and again?
Yes. I totally. So I'll tell you the yogi way and the Western way.
But your way.
My way have
I
been
wanna
both.
want you, your
So I have
way.
used both because I've been influenced by a Western lifestyle and Western philosophers, and I have been reading a lot and practicing a lot the yoga and ancient. So when I started, it was the hurt emotion. So emotion is energy in motion. Emotion, energy in motion. It doesn't have its own quality. It's just an energy.
Right.
We have given it names like it's hurt, it's anger, it's happiness, it's this. But it's an energy moving into different parts of the brain and the body. So I using that energy. So I had a lot of hurt and anger. So I could either use that to revenge, to hurt back and to hurt myself, or I could use that to build myself. Like right now, I don't feel I have that power to wake up 4 a.m. every day and do ice cold bath. But at that time, that hurt energy was waking me up every day. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., like I have to do this, otherwise I won't be at peace. So first it was the desire to attain peace. But now it has changed. Now that I feel, okay, the peace is here, it's nowhere else. Now I can navigate the energy, whether I want to go full hard on life or I don't want to go. Then you have like this, you decide what you do with the energy. But if you're at the beginning stage and you're looking for motivation, find your strongest emotion. Find what is the strongest emotion you have. Are you very happy? So don't go just laugh all day. Use that happiness to create something, to build something in life. If you have hate for someone, use that hate in some positive direction. Any emotion that you feel can be turned into
Change energy.
change, just transforming
Transform, yeah.
the energy into different ways. We all have that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your sharing. It's a
Thank you.
beautiful story.
I appreciate it.
And I hope that you're not afraid to step in this life, which calls life, your own life, and yoga change. And yoga change in most powerful and healthy way. You became who you really are. Yes, it could bring a lot of goodbyes. It could bring you and super uncomfortable places. Like you can still work your work, get your money, get some pleasures, or be without money somewhere in Rishikesh, in minus money, working just for the food, but still doing what you are. And this is the so beautiful lessons and so beautiful life. So don't be afraid to live your life. Namaste.
Namaste.